Well, good morning everybody and welcome to the streets of Lembongan. I'm on the beachfront at the moment in Lembongan, and pretty much that's what it is. Beyond me out there is all those sticks and things like that are farms, seafood farms. Let me give you a quick shot of the little scooter that I'm riding on at the moment, which cost me I think about $43 for a week. It was something crazy like that. So there we go. That's my little Honda. A bit different from the Harley back home, but there you go, can't be choosers. Some spare jandals if anybody's after one. But yeah, no, she works, does the job, gets me around this little town, village I suppose. So what I'm going to do this morning is I'm going to turn around down the road there and then come back and give you an eye view of what negotiating the streets of Lembongan looks like, with all the little shops and bars and homestays and all that sort of thing. It's very rustic here. It's absolutely beautiful, gorgeous, so peaceful. And yeah, so why don't you come along with me for a ride? Right, here we go. So I'll go up to the end of the road here and then turn around. Right, so we'll head back into town and you'll get an idea of the life in Lembongan. So at this point, this is one of the resorts, the Mahagiri Resort Spa Service. Mahagiri, if you want to Google that, that's where this is. And they've got a beautiful beach there right onto the beachfront, which is very nice. Might actually have a look at that and see what their rates are like, maybe next time, eh? Okay, from here we head into the village and all the little shops and whatnot. Enjoy the ride. As you can see, the streets aren't very wide here, so you've got to negotiate traffic. "17 years old? I don't think so." Now back to base. Hope you enjoyed that little trip. Right, good morning. Let me give you a bit of an update. There have been quite a few changes in my trip to Bali, unfortunately. I've pretty much given you as much visibility and ideas of what's going on here. We are currently in Lembongan. I am currently in Lembongan at Big Fish Dive Center. And the plan obviously was to go on to Ubud from here for a week, and then the last week I would be spending back in Sanur again. The plans have changed slightly because when I arrived here in Lembongan, I had a bit of an accident coming off the boat, the ferry, and I fell over in the sand carrying my luggage, etc. So I didn't realize then, but I think it caused a bit of trauma on my right ankle where I've had my tendon surgery. Anyway, the next 2 days was okay, and that's when I did my my pool refresher, which you've already seen. And after the pool session, I did 2 dives in the sea on the north coast of Lembongan, which was really nice, and I think you would have already seen that before you see this. Yes, you would have. So that part comes up. So I hope you enjoyed the diving. I really did. I'll be very honest with you. To my heart, it brought a lot of joy after 17 years to get back in the sea, when Tracy and I used to be frequent divers, both PADI rescue divers. So a lot of skill and a lot of time in the sea was spent to get to that qualification. And yeah, I did 2 dives here, and they were very, very cool. The only problem again, getting off the boat. You see, the thing is with the boats here, the only way you can embark and disembark on boats is from the shoreline, and there's no jetties. The shoreline is sand going down to it, and then it's crushed coral going, when you hit the water, it's like crushed coral. So the density of the crushed coral compared to sand is not compacted. And you know, as the boats come in to drop you off, they reverse back into the shore so that you can step off the boat onto the sand. But more often than not, you're not stepping onto sand, you're stepping into the water, because they go backwards and forwards slightly, and the waves are obviously breaking, small waves, but they're still breaking nonetheless. And when it came my turn to get off the boat at the end of our dive, I stepped down and I had a look, and it looked like I was in about 6 inches of water. So I thought, yeah, that's no problem, and I took a step forward with my right foot again, and I think maybe the water came up as I was stepping off. The boat rose, and it turned into about 18 inches of water. So I stepped down, not prepared for that kind of a drop. And of course, when my foot hit the sand, it was the crushed coral, which it sunk even deeper, which totally knocked me sideways, and I fell against the boat and bruised my arm over here and over here. And one of the guys had to catch me and sort of help me get me back onto the sand again. Is what it is. I'm not 40 years old anymore, you know what I mean? And everybody else is in their 30s and 40s. They can do bloody double somersaults off the back onto the sand. But yeah, for these old bones, it was a little bit too much. And the next day when I woke up, I had massive swelling on my right leg. My arm was aching from where it hit against the side of the boat trying to catch my balance. So all in all, it wasn't a good thing. And they asked me, am I going diving? And I said, no, not today. And it was then that I made the decision that I wasn't going to dive anymore here. My leg needed to recuperate, and I wasn't going to take any chances. if we have a recurrence of what just happened, it could be a lot worse. And you know, I don't want to go backwards in my regime of getting fit again with this right leg. So I don't care what anybody says, including you, Chris Tankard. But yeah, that's the way it's going to be. So my plan at the moment is I'm just chilling out here at Secret Garden Villas in the Big Fish Dive Center for the rest of today. Do some more editing, I think, get some downloads, this included, and then from there we will have our last day tomorrow. I've got to return the scooter tomorrow, and on Monday the lovely Yassi here, the sort of reception lady and administrator, has organized me a door-to-door taxi and boat ride from the dive center here all the way to my other villa up in Ubud. So I literally will not carry anything, and I'll be in the villa on my bum in comfort on the boat, and the taxi will be waiting for me on the other side when we get back into Bali, and take me up to the villa, which I'm so excited about, because I understand it's a very, very nice villa. In comparison to what I'm living in here, this is very rustic shacks, if you want to put it that way. It's just a room, no hot water, it's just running cold water, and luckily enough I have an air conditioning unit which keeps the room fairly reasonable now. So I think the big news, what I wanted to tell you, is because of all of that, I've now shortened my trip by a week. So I won't be going back on the 9th of September. I'll be going back on the 1st of September, which is actually in my time now. It's Saturday. Next Friday, I'll be going from my villa in Ubud directly to the airport and flying home. So I'll be back home in New Zealand on Saturday the 2nd of September. So the 3-week trip has turned into a 2-week trip, but I look at it in a positive note to say that I've done what I wanted to do. The focus on coming out here was a week's worth of diving, of which I did 2 days, and with Tim very kindly helped me through the sort of a referral dive to make sure that I was competent enough to get back in the water, which he was 100% happy with. So was I, for that matter. And then of course we did the 2 dives, which I'm happy that next time I come back here, which I will definitely be doing coming back. I mean, there's no way, if you haven't been to Bali, specifically Lembongan, that you please put it on your tick list as a place to go, because it's wild. And when I say wild, I mean wild in the nature way, not as in the party way. It really is good. So, you know, I've done what I wanted to do, and I think this next week is going to be important just to relax. The villa's got a pool, which it'll be my pool sort of for most of the stay, and I'll get in a couple of nice meals, which I hope to video for you, see what restaurants there are. But otherwise it'll just be chilling out by the pool, listening to some music. Might get a bit of lakeside radio going there, see if I can stream some music and just enjoy myself and get this leg elevated, you know. And because I don't want it swollen when I hit the plane. The worst thing I want is deep vein, so I've got to get it back to a standard sort of size again so I can fit into shoes, and then fly home. So that's it for today. I'm sorry it's been a bit of a long one, me chatting away, but I thought I'd just bring you up to speed with what actually happened and why I'm going back a week early. No regrets though. I mean, yeah, I wish I could have stayed a week longer, but I should have been a lot fitter for it, and that's all I'm going to say. I thought I would be, but the heat out here and the sort of, not the wildness, but the I'm trying to think of the word to use, the rusticness of Lembongan. You need to be pretty fit, let's put it that way. There's a lot of walking if you don't have a scooter. The roads are not even, they're bumpy. the beaches are sandy, so and the seaside is pretty rough as well. So you know, it's a fit body place. You can't just saunter around marble floors in a mall or something like that. So yeah, I will be fit next time I come out here. If it's not next year, it'll be the year after. My ankle would have healed properly. My body will be a hell of a lot fitter than it is now after 4 months of lying on my back watching television whilst my wounds healed from the surgery. And yeah, so I'm going to focus now on getting fit, getting my ankle back together. And of course the next big thing is the Roaming Kiwi island tour on the Harley Tri-Glide, the brand new Harley Tri-Glide, which I'm going to enjoy that a lot as well. I'm going to have lots of video for you of awesome places around New Zealand. Right, as I said, and I've said it again, that's it for now. The next time you see me, we will be disembarking here for the boat ride back to the main island, and then taxi up to Ubud, and then into the new villa on Monday. So see you then, stay tuned and don't go away.